Docks Marine, open 7 days a week from 8 to 5. Sales, rental, service, all in one place. It's at Docks Marine, 5803 Eichard Ridge Road.
I'm Ralph Mangum here on the WHKY News, where it's time for our weekly roundup of some of the crime stories we had for you during the week of October 21st through the 25th. Let's get right to it. An inmate who escaped from a Caldwell County prison has been apprehended. According to the North Carolina Department of Public Safety, 44-year-old Christopher Greer escaped from the Caldwell Correctional Institution, a minimum security prison in Lenoir. Greer was captured without incident at 7:25 a.m. on foot, a short distance from the prison. He is an habitual felon convicted in Guilford County. His scheduled release date was in 2028. The Caldwell County Sheriff's Office are seeking assistance locating a wanted person. He is 25-year-old Derek Bailey Robinson of Lenoir. He's currently wanted by the Sheriff's Office on felony counts of breaking and entering, larceny after breaking and entering, larceny of a firearm, and possession of a stolen firearm, along with 2 counts of misdemeanor larceny. Anyone with information regarding the whereabouts of Derek Bailey Robinson should call the Sheriff's Office 828-758-2324. To remain anonymous, contact Caldwell County Crime Stoppers 828-758-8300.
A man was arrested for trafficking in heroin or opium. 34-year-old John Luke McDarris of Hudson was arrested on Friday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with 3 felonies: trafficking in heroin or opium, possession of methamphetamine, and maintaining a vehicle or dwelling for controlled substance. McDarris was jailed in the Caldwell County Detention Center under no bond. A district court date was scheduled for October 21st. A Hudson woman was arrested for larceny and probation violations. 36-year-old Heather Nicole Russell of Hudson was arrested on Saturday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. She is charged with 2 felony probation violations and a misdemeanor count of larceny. Russell was jailed under $243,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. She is scheduled to appear in Superior Court on October 28th.
A Hickory resident is charged with trafficking in cocaine and with fleeing from police. He was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility without bond following his arrest. 58-year-old Robert DeJuan Nelson of 17th Avenue Northeast in Hickory was arrested by Hickory police. He's charged with trafficking in cocaine, felony flee to elude arrest with a motor vehicle, and assault with a deadly weapon. Nelson was jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility Monday morning without bond as he awaited a district court date the same day. 30-year-old Darian Brooke Greer of Evergreen Drive in Newton was arrested Friday by authorities in Catawba County. She's charged with possession of controlled substance on prison or jail premises. Greer was jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility without bond. No court date was listed.
33-year-old Sidney Lee Baker of 17th Avenue Northeast in Hickory was arrested by Hickory police yesterday on charges of felony death by motor vehicle, driving while impaired, careless and reckless driving, felony possession of a Schedule I controlled substance, and misdemeanor possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. Baker was arrested in connection with a fatal accident that occurred just before 5 p.m. Monday on Fairgrove Church Road at Interstate 40. The accident happened as officers were on the scene investigating a separate traffic crash in the northbound lane of Fairgrove Church Road. A blue 2023 Honda Accord driven by Baker was traveling south on Fairgrove Church Road when it drifted into the divider lane. There, it struck 2 Hickory police officers and Taylor Pendergrast of Lenoir, who were standing next to a police car parked in the northbound lane. Ms. Pendergrast was transported to Catawba Valley Medical Center and then airlifted to Atrium Health Carolinas Medical Center, where she passed away early this morning. 1 HPD officer was taken to Catawba Valley Medical Center, where he was treated and released. The other officer was treated and released at the scene. Baker was arrested at the scene. He was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under no bond. Bond on the drug charges was set at $5,000. A first appearance in court on the drug charges was scheduled today, with a first appearance on the death by vehicle charge coming up tomorrow in Newton. The incident is currently under investigation. Anyone with additional information should contact Sergeant Amanda Eford at 828-328-5551.
34-year-old Melvin Thomas Booker of Lenoir was arrested Monday by Lenoir police officers. He was charged with felony failure to appear in court and felony larceny. Booker was also charged with misdemeanor counts of simple possession of Schedule 4, controlled substance, resisting or delaying an officer, and driving while license revoked. He was jailed under $135,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. No court date was listed. A man is charged with possession of controlled substance. 38-year-old Rashad Dante Jordan of Lenoir was arrested on Sunday by Lenoir police officers. He was charged with 3 felonies: possession of Schedule 1 controlled substance, possession of Schedule 2 controlled substance, and possession of controlled substance on prison or jail premises. Jordan was also charged with misdemeanor counts of assault on a female and communicating threats. He was jailed under $80,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for November 6th.
35-year-old John Luke McDarris and 35-year-old Latricia Maria Donovan, both of Hudson, were arrested Friday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. McDarris is charged with felony counts of trafficking opium or heroin, possession of methamphetamine, and maintaining a vehicle, dwelling, or place for controlled substance. Donovan is charged with felony maintaining a vehicle, dwelling, or place for controlled substance. WHKY reported on the suspects' arrests Monday. More details have been released. Friday at approximately 9 a.m., a search warrant was executed by the Caldwell County SWAT team and narcotic agents at a residence on Gilliland Lane in Hudson. Agents found approximately 10 grams of fentanyl and 1/2 gram of methamphetamine. The drugs seized have a total street value of $5,500, according to North Carolina state guidelines. Both suspects were placed in the Caldwell County Detention Center following their arrests. McDarris was jailed under $30,000 bond. Bond for Donovan was set at $10,000. They were both scheduled to appear in district court in Lenoir on Monday. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood. Maiden police responded to a residence and found multiple individuals deceased from gunshot wounds. There was also a juvenile in the home who was unharmed. Police found the suspect in Lincoln County. There were multiple agencies involved in his arrest. He was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility without bond following the arrest. 27-year-old Isaac Nathaniel Christenberry of the Lincoln County community of Iron Station was arrested Tuesday by Maiden police. He's charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. Shortly before 7:45 p.m. Tuesday, Maiden police responded to a reported shooting at a residence on P.J. McCree Road in Maiden. Arriving officers found 3 deceased adults with gunshot wounds. Also in the residence at the time of the shooting was a juvenile who was unharmed. Within an hour of the initial call, law enforcement officers received information about the suspect's whereabouts. The suspect and his vehicle were found just outside the town of Maiden in Lincoln County. With the assistance of the North Carolina State Highway Patrol and the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, the suspect was taken into custody. Following the arrest, Christenberry was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility here in Newton without bond. He was awaiting a Wednesday court appearance. The investigation is continuing by the Maiden Police Department, the Catawba County Sheriff's Office, and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. Reporting from the Catawba County Justice Center in Newton, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
42-year-old Eric Sean Green and 42-year-old Kendall K. Armstrong were arrested Monday by Lincoln County Sheriff's officers. Both suspects were charged with Level 3 trafficking methamphetamine by possession, trafficking fentanyl by possession, possession with intent to sell and deliver meth, possession with intent to sell and deliver fentanyl, possession of a firearm by a felon, possession of a stolen firearm, and maintaining a dwelling for a controlled substance. Following an undercover operation, Lincoln County narcotics officers executed a search warrant Monday at an address on Green Street in Lincolnton. During the search, investigators seized 1.5 pounds of meth, 13 grams of fentanyl, and multiple firearms, including 5 handguns, 1 shotgun, an AR-style rifle, and a sawed-off shotgun. 2 of the handguns had been reported stolen. The occupants of the residence, Eric Sean Green and Kendall K. Armstrong, are both convicted felons. They were arrested, charged, and incarcerated in the Harvin A. Krause Detention Center. Green was jailed under a $505,000 bond, while Armstrong received a bond of $515,000. They're both scheduled to appear in court on November 12th.
38-year-old Rashad Dante Jordan of Lenoir was arrested on Sunday by Lenoir police officers. He was charged with 3 felonies: possession of Schedule I controlled substance, possession of Schedule II controlled substance, and possession of controlled substance on prison or jail premises. Jordan was also charged with misdemeanor counts of assault on a female and communicating threats. He was jailed under $80,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for November 6th.
The suspect in this case was charged with fraud for allegedly falsely claiming she was run over or struck by a vehicle earlier this year. The Hickory resident was given a $10,000 bond and has a court date here in Catawba County in November. 34-year-old Audra Lynn Claypool of 31st Avenue Place Northeast in Hickory was arrested by the North Carolina Department of Insurance. She's charged with felony insurance fraud. North Carolina Insurance Commissioner Mike Causey announced Claypool's arrest on Tuesday. Special agents with the Department of Insurance's Criminal Investigations Division accused Claypool of falsely filing a claim with Intigon Indemnity Corporation. She allegedly claimed that her foot was run over or struck by a man's vehicle after she got into an argument with a passenger in that vehicle. According to the arrest warrant, video surveillance showed that the vehicle never ran over or struck Claypool. The offense occurred on July 27th. Claypool was arrested on October 16th and was given a $10,000 secured bond. She is scheduled to appear in court here in Catawba County on November 7th.
25-year-old Derek Bailey Robinson of Lenoir was arrested Tuesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. Robinson was charged with failure to appear in court, felony counts of breaking and entering, larceny of a firearm, and possession of a stolen firearm. He's also charged with misdemeanor larceny. The Sheriff's Office requested assistance in finding Robinson, as previously reported by WHKY. After a lengthy foot chase through the woods off of Abington Road, deputies took Robinson into custody. He was placed in the Caldwell County Detention Center under a total secured bond of over $103,000. No court date is currently listed. 41-year-old Kevin O'Neill Carroll of Hickory will serve an active prison term of 8 to 10 years after pleading guilty to death by distribution of fentanyl during Catawba County Superior Court on October 23rd. Carroll was sentenced in connection with an incident in which a 31-year-old female victim was found deceased following an overdose at a Hickory apartment complex in September of last year. An investigation showed that the victim purchased fentanyl from Carroll prior to her death. Carroll admitted to selling fentanyl to support his own drug use and told investigators that he had supplied the drug to the victim. An autopsy showed that the victim died from fentanyl and methamphetamine toxicity. Family members addressed the court as they remembered the victim and the circumstances surrounding her death, noting the significance of her loss and the impact it has had on them. Carroll offered an apology and told the court that he never meant to hurt anyone. Josh Rector investigated the case for the Catawba County Sheriff's Office. Assistant District Attorney Howard Wellens handled the prosecution with aid from legal assistant Meredith Scott. 53-year-old Paul Edward Eichert Jr. of Catawba County was sentenced to serve 6 to 8 years in prison following his conviction for fleeing to elude arrest with a motor vehicle. The defendant's sentence was enhanced by his status as an habitual felon. Eichert entered a guilty plea on October 22nd in Catawba County Superior Court. The habitual felon designation is the result of prior convictions for fleeing to elude arrest with a motor vehicle. That was in April 2003 in Catawba County, second-degree rape in July 2007 in Burke County, and failure to report a new address as a sex offender in May of 2015 in Catawba County. In March of 2023, Catawba County Sheriff's deputies attempted to stop a vehicle driven by Eichert for a fictitious registration, but the driver did not comply, resulting in a chase with speeds more than 15 miles per hour higher than the posted limits. Eichert failed to stop at a stop sign, failed to maintain lane control, and crashed into a power pole. He fled on foot but was apprehended a short time later. Wesley Crow investigated the case for the Catawba County Sheriff's Office. Assistant District Attorney Melanie Earls handled the prosecution with aid from legal assistant Jordan Arney. On October 23rd in Catawba County Superior Court, 31-year-old Stevenson Eugene Clark of Conover was sentenced to serve 6 to 8 years in prison. He pleaded guilty to trafficking methamphetamine by possession. Clark will also be required to pay a mandatory fine of $50,000. On February 13th of this year, Hickory police attempted to stop a vehicle with no lights on, but the driver did not comply. A chase ensued, which ended when officers deployed stop sticks. During the chase, 2 bags were thrown from the vehicle and later found by officers. The bags contained digital scales and a trafficking amount of meth. A large amount of cash was also seized from the vehicle. The case was investigated by Hickory Police Officer Dylan Cassidy and Catawba County Sheriff's Deputy Samuel Helms. Assistant District Attorney Melanie Earls handled the prosecution with aid from legal assistant Jordan Arney. In each case, the sentences were handed down by the Honorable Penn Broyhill, Superior Court Judge from Forsyth County. The defendants will serve their periods of incarceration in the custody of the North Carolina Division of Adult Corrections.
48-year-old Floyd Everett Bethia of Lenoir was arrested on Wednesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with 1 felony count, assault inflicting serious injury, and misdemeanor probation violation. Bethia was jailed under no bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for Wednesday. Bethia was on probation as a result of convictions in Caldwell County from July 2023 for second-degree trespass and larceny. He received probation and a 24-month suspended sentence.
43-year-old Daniel Ray Coleman of Corky Drive in Granite Falls was arrested on Tuesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with possession with intent to sell and deliver methamphetamine and maintaining a dwelling for controlled substance. On Tuesday, the Sheriff's Office SWAT team and ICE unit executed a search warrant at Coleman's Granite Falls residence. The investigation led to the seizure of more than 20 grams of meth. Earlier this year, Coleman received the same charges after a prior incident. That case is still pending. The drugs seized during the investigation earlier this week have a total street value of $3,030, according to North Carolina state drug guidelines. And following the arrest on Tuesday, Coleman was placed in the Caldwell County Detention Center in Lenoir under $25,000 bond. A district court appearance was scheduled on Wednesday. 42-year-old Phelan Izzard was sentenced on Thursday to 70 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. The announcement was made Thursday by Dina J. King, U.S. Attorney for the Western District of North Carolina. Hickory Police Chief Reed Baer was among those joining U.S. Attorney King in making the announcement. According to court documents and the sentencing hearing in July of 2022, the Hickory Police Department was investigating Izzard for suspected drug trafficking activities. During the investigation, a confidential informant purchased cocaine base from Izzard. On April 11th of 2023, Hickory police officers were patrolling near an apartment complex in Hickory where they observed Izzard walk into an apartment. A short time later, he walked back outside and fired a gunshot into the air. Officers immediately detained Izzard and recovered a 9mm pistol loaded with a magazine containing 13 rounds of ammunition and a spent shell casing from the front porch. Hickory police searched an apartment where Izzard had been staying and seized several firearms. Izzard was also charged in connection to a shooting that occurred October 22nd of 2023 at the Gateway Pub in Hickory. On May 15th of this year, Izzard pleaded guilty to 2 counts of possession of cocaine base and 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a felon. You can get much more on this story by going to our website, WHKY.com. Reporting from Hickory for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
45-year-old Calvin Wayne Bowen and 25-year-old Derek Bailey Robinson have been arrested on charges filed by sheriff's officers from Caldwell and Burke counties. Bowen was arrested on October 17th and Robinson was arrested on October 22nd after he had been listed as a wanted person. They are both charged with multiple counts of breaking and entering, larceny after breaking and entering, larceny of a firearm, possession of stolen property, larceny of a motor vehicle, and possession of a stolen motor vehicle. A joint investigation between the Caldwell and Burke Sheriff's offices led to the arrest. Authorities say Bowen and Robinson are responsible for at least 4 break-ins with larceny that occurred in both counties between October 1st and October 22nd. The incidents occurred at homes in both counties in the aftermath of damage caused by Tropical Storm Helene. Investigators believe the offenders were targeting residences that were vacant due to power outages. During the investigation, authorities recovered a total of 80 stolen items. Some of the items include 2 side-by-side ATVs, a Honda four-wheeler, numerous firearms, and multiple household items. The total value of the items recovered is estimated at $50,000. Bowen and Robinson were placed in the Caldwell County Detention Center under secured bonds from both counties. Investigators continue to seek assistance to recover additional stolen items. Anyone with information should call Detective Hamby in Caldwell County, that's 828-759-1554, or Detective Brock in Burke County, and that's 828-438-5500. 30-year-old Harley K. Court of Hidden Night was arrested by Hickory Police on October 24th on a charge of second-degree arson. At about 2:41 Wednesday afternoon, Alexander County 911 received a call regarding a structure fire at 508 Princess Lane in Hidden Night. Fire departments from Stony Point, Hidden Night, Vashti, Ellendale, and Taylorsville all responded and were able to extinguish the fire with no loss of life. The fire marshal's office investigated and determined the cause to be arson. The sheriff's office assisted in the investigation and found that the fire was started by using available materials found in the residence. Following the investigation, Harley K. Court was charged. She was taken into custody in Hickory Thursday and jailed under a $50,000 secured bond. A first appearance in district court was scheduled for October 28th.
A Lenoir man was arrested for possession of burglary tools. 37-year-old Joshua Ray Bishop of Lenoir was arrested on Thursday by Lenoir police officers. He was charged with felony counts of larceny and possession of burglary tools. Bishop was jailed under $100,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for November 14th. A Roadhiss man was arrested for trafficking in heroin or opium. 43-year-old Revis Eugene Figard of Roadhiss was arrested on Thursday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with 3 felony counts: trafficking in heroin or opium, maintaining a vehicle or dwelling for controlled substance, and resisting, delaying, or obstructing a public officer. Figard was jailed under $51,500 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for October 28th. And a Lenoir man charged with hit and run and resisting public officers. 32-year-old Harley Dylan Green of Lenoir was arrested on Thursday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with felony breaking and entering, 2 counts resisting, delaying, or obstructing a public officer, driving while license revoked, hit and run resulting in property damage, and probation violation. Green was jailed under $49,500 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for October 25th. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
And those were just some of the crime stories we had for you during the past week. That's October 21st through October 25th. Our weekly recap is posted every Saturday on our YouTube channel, along with our top stories, the crime report, local sports, and community focus. I'm Ralph Mangum. Thank you all for watching the WHKY News.